Welcome to my Let's Play of Spelunky. This is episode 19, and I'm Psychedelic Eyeball. Joining me for this one update is RockLeeSmile.
Hey, how's it going? It's good to be back.
Yeah, it's definitely been a while. The last time that I had you was for Super Meat Boy, so... yeah, this one update, we're gonna do something different. We have this little ninja here, and he's gonna get through without killing anything? Okay, I guess that was not a good run here, so... yeah, I basically just included that in order to showcase how it's easy for this run to go really, really wrong.
I was gonna say, it's not very ninja-like to run into that bat right off the bat, but anyway.
Yeah, that was just his training run. After all of our lives into this game are pretty much infinite. So, just in order to properly define what I'd consider a pacifist run for the purpose of this game, a pacifist run means that we finish a game with a kill count of 0. And basically, in order for you to get kills on enemy, you need to attack them with your weapon, throw stuff at them, or drop bombs or rope that end up killing the enemies. But anything else that kills the enemies is fair game.
It's a tough run. I've never done anything quite like this before. I've attempted to do no gold runs and things, but a lot of the time that doesn't work out. Even if you're trying your best, sometimes the gold finds you.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have my share of stories for the no gold run, but that'll be a story for another update. In fact, the next update. Basically, it was one of the viewers in my thread that recommended that I try doing a pacifist run like that. I never thought about it before, but I have found that the idea was interesting, so might as well give it a try.
Yeah, it is a good idea. I mean, I've seen people do some other experimental runs, like the lantern run, where you try and take one of those and bring it to the end, or of course the infamous eggplant, all of which super, super hard stuff. And I'm just on the level now where I'm trying to beat hell. Which is still kind of amazing after all these years that I haven't pulled it off, but this is a whole nother level for me to do these, specific, very finely tuned runs.
Yeah, but I don't know, in some way I kind of find that doing runs like that can okay, that was a close one here, because the gold could have killed this snake over there, but at least nothing happened.
Wait a minute, the spit doesn't set off the TNT? I thought the particles always did.
No, the spit doesn't. It's pretty much the only thing that doesn't affect it at all.
Wow.
So yeah, for the purpose of a pacifist run, usually one of the strategies that I have in mind is to get as much money as possible and use them use all of your money in order to go to stores and buy as many bombs as possible, because then you will be able to use your bombs in order to dodge the enemies or areas that otherwise you will have no choice but have to kill the enemies in order to make it through. Either that or items like rope, the compass in order to know where the exit is, all sort of things that will help you avoid confrontation altogether.
Yeah, very defensive play, which is a thing you don't see too often. I wonder also if it'd be worth going to like the Castlevania level to get the shield so you can push stuff around.
I don't know, it's just like, I just imagine that if you carried the shield around, then it will be really easy for you to kill enemies by accident, by crushing them with the shield.
I guess so.
But doing so on a no-gold run, however, will be another story. It actually will be a very good idea to get the shield there. Yeah, for instance, you run into these kind of problems where the entire path is completely sealed off.
Yep. Oh, what about the web gun? Would that be a good strategy?
Oh yeah, web gun will also...
place?
oh yeah, the web gun will definitely be good. Too bad that I actually ended up succeeding before I could get my hands on one, but that could be something worth undertaking. Oh, and yeah, of course the monkeys continue to be a nuisance, but at least, well, I have a shit ton of money in order to mitigate any kind of thing that they might end up doing to me, but... what's annoying about them is that you just try to jump around and do stuff, and sometimes they will just end up going where you're going to land, and they end up dying.
Would it count as an environmental thing if a monkey pulled a bomb out of you and then the bomb ended up killing an enemy?
I don't think it counts against you, or if it did, then I would pretty much if that thing happened, I really would have needed to pull the kill count at the end of a level in order to see if it applies or not. Sometimes you will see the kill count in order to show that if there's a bunch of enemies all around which died, well, the kill count is still 0.
Good navigation, too. You're going pretty smoothly through all these levels.
Yeah, I pretty much just stick to the main path. There's like, in every level in the game, there'll always be like one main path that you can navigate, and as long as you don't stray off from it, then usually it's pretty easy to get to the ending of the level without having too much trouble. Yeah, for instance...
that's rough.
Yeah, I definitely was thinking a little bit in order to go down here.
I would have probably roped at that point. Yeah. Oh, you did too. Okay.
Yeah, I did. At this point, I'm not taking any risk. There's no way that I'm pulling this off without any kind of item.
Wow. That was scary.
Yeah, and this is why I say a pacifist run only counts whenever you kill stuff yourself, because, well, if no enemies had to die or anything, it would be impossible, because the moment you step your foot in the ice cave, there'd be like a million of enemies exploding all over the place anyway, so it's not as if you could even do anything to prevent that.
Yeah, plus I've seen orange frogs that start the level in the jungle exploding. Like, there's nothing you could have done. The second it starts, they explode.
Yeah. And yeah, just in order to show that mines that I've blown up, which blew up other mines, which blew up other enemies, don't count as a kill. At this point, it's starting to be really, really complicated.
Oh, I like that, using the mammoth as a trampoline to get down. That's good.
Yeah, and this is also one of the reasons why you don't want spike shoes for a playthrough like this, because otherwise you will kill a whole lot of enemies in only one jump, and having enemies that you can jump on without them dying immediately is kind of a welcome thing, because otherwise this kind of thing will be way too hard. But yeah, I'm still not gonna jump on his head.
What if a little mini Yeti falls off the bottom into the abyss? Would that count as a kill?
I don't think it does, and I don't think Yetis can even jump off ledges by themselves, at least not into this version of the game. I think they could in the classic game, but don't quote me on that because I'm pretty much talking out of nowhere.
I just meant, I guess, if you like bounced on one of their heads or something and then they sort of flopped, or if maybe a UFO blew up a level.
Oh,
you know,
well, the UFO, it's pretty sure that it will not count against you, but if you jump on them and then they fell off the pit, I really wouldn't know. Honestly, I didn't bother trying, and I didn't really want to experiment on that sort of thing.
Yeah, there's just so many little technicalities you don't think of until you're actually trying to attempt something like that.
Yeah, but at least for this one, generally it's pretty easy to figure all out. And now for the temple. This is probably the worst part, because then there's a lot of hazard that can end up hindering you, and there's a whole lot of rooms like that where you just think, okay, that's not possible to go through there without you killing the thing yourself, but you can just
smart.
Yeah, you can just do it indirectly instead.
I was gonna say, like, I have no idea how you're getting past this mummy without a bomb, and then the Thwomp just took care of it for you.
Yeah, I was really happy that it was here. Normally, I always dread those obstacles, but here I was like, oh, thank you, I really needed that.
I guess you could have perhaps bombed ahead, like, above the mummy and tried to get over him vertically, but, yeah.
I think that would have been even more riskier. More so considering that I don't have paste on my bombs.
Yeah, then you would have had to cook one. That would have been instant death for me.
Yeah.
I just don't cook bombs.
Yeah, and finally, it's really risky to... Okay.
Oh my god, you grappled!
Yeah, I somehow managed to grapple on the thing. At this point, I don't know why or how I even have wrists anymore.
Oh, man. I just, like, my hand just went to my mouth when I saw it.
Yeah, it kind of was the same for me. Honestly, most of the time that I get pretty much into the midst of any of these things, I pretty much just become a deer in front of a headlight.
Yeah, same here. I don't even know how you were able to keep playing right after that. Like, I would have taken a moment to recover, and you just jump right back in.
Yeah, I guess I am just in a constant state of nervousness anyway, so it's like, nah, at this point I don't think I need to bother.
That is a bad position. Oh, yeah. Alright, they all moved away.
Yeah, they all jump away just in order to make way for me. They're so kind. And there we have it. Now it's time for the Olmec fight. And yeah, this time we also are not allowed to kill any single one of his minions. So this is one of the reasons why you want to bring as many bombs here as possible. In fact, we're just going to take a stroll all the way up in order to see if there's any more crates that may end up helping us.
Well, you have 16 bombs. You should be able to chain bomb right through it now anyway, right?
Yeah, but I still want to see if there's anything else that can end up counting for it. Yeah. I'm just getting a whole lot more bombs, so right now I'm kind of feeling pretty well about my situation. Honestly, I'm just way too stingy when it comes to items in this game, so I usually just want to grab as much stuff as possible and then make it so that I will only use them in sheer necessity. Yeah, I'm not even gonna use ropes here, because why not?
I've actually gotten myself in a position where I've bombed so far down and didn't have climbing gloves, and I wasn't able to get back out, so I just had to suicide. That was really poor planning. I'll never make that mistake again, though.
Yeah, this is all a game about learning. So yeah, right now, unfortunately, this is kind of not the most interesting part of the playthrough, but it has to be done, because honestly, if you're trying to fight Olmec legitimately with that one thing, you pretty much can go to hell, because holy shit, how the hell will you ever do that?
Yeah, I mean, if people aren't familiar, like, every, 2 or 3 stomps, he's gonna bring out 3 more enemies, so after you do that 2 or 3 times, like, you're drowning already. Yeah. And it's random enemies, too, so you might get a bunch of wasps that can trap you through the entire level.
Yeah, or you can get a whole lot of scorpions, or a whole lot of really nasty creatures, which are not fun to deal with, but hopefully I'm not gonna give him a chance to spawn anything, so if I do it correctly, there's only going to be 1 stomp for him.
Oh man, that's a daring way to do it. Okay, cool.
Yep, and here we go. A whole lot of enemies spawn, but who cares, they all die in the lava, and it's not my fault.
That's gutsy. I usually try and kite him back and forth, and then eventually try and have him line up with the blocks, but you just chose to have him stomp through.
Yeah, I really did not want to have him do more than 1 or 2 stomps, so I was just like, I'm gonna get this done as fast as possible, because I really don't want to have any minions spawn, because otherwise that will be the end of me.
That was a fast run, too.
Yeah, I think it was almost fast enough to qualify for Spelunky, but not quite.
Yeah, imagine you got both
9 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, I only was, 1 minute shy away from the speedrun. And you will be remembered as a wimpy hero who wouldn't kill anything. So, let's see now how things could have gone worse, or how things could go better. So, just a bunch of other runs that I have over here. It's like, I tried to kite this bat back and forth in order to be able to finally get across it, but whoops, I got trapped between the bat and Spike, and instead I chose the bat, and I ended up having to deal with both. And now, what you will want to do for your doggy. Yeah, I wanted to pick him up, but I picked nothing but the dog. And now you can see how annoying bats are whenever you deal this challenge, because in the classic version, if you're far away from a bat, they will stop chasing you, but in this version, they never stop.
Oh, nice whip.
Yeah, and once again, this is the kind of situation you may end up in. Levels that are pure hell to navigate because there's a million of enemies in the way, or enemies that are simply placed into locations that are simply not convenient for you to deal. Here, I'm pretty much racing in a race against all of the bats and the spinner spider, and I have no clue how I succeeded. And yeah, sometimes the frogs really get in your way. I just wanted to jump on the worm because I was like, the worm is always a nice cushion in order to break your fall, but instead I'm just gonna have a frog cushion my fall, and yeah, why not? Let's have another frog, because at this point we need all of them. And now for the single worst thing that can happen to you in total. Yeah, okay, I forgot about this death, but yeah, here is the worst thing about this. Yeah, those skeletons.
Didn't even see that coming. I feel like it should be mentioned, too, that you got lucky in your seed when you did your actual run, because you didn't get a dark level, and that would have really made it way harder to proceed.
Yeah, so now I'm strapped between this frog here, so might as well go down, but you know what's gonna happen.
Yep.
Of course, I bombed down the one and only hole where there was a live skeleton. So, with this explosive ending, this is time for us to end this update. So, thank you, RockLeeSmile, for being alongside with me for this one update.
Absolutely, thank you for having me.
So, coming up next, something. Okay, I'm gonna fix that in post. Okay, without any further ado, what I meant to say was, coming up next, we're in a path of glory and gold, but gold is not invited.